Today's guest is a former Bishop Ryan golfer who's taken his talents to Independence Inc. Joining me now, it's Drew Hanson. Now, Drew, you've done a lot of stuff in the Minot community for accessibility purposes and all that good stuff. What made you want to get involved with Independence Inc. to the level of being president of the board?
Yeah, it's been quite the journey with Independence Inc. I've been on the board for almost 4 years now and involved in many different ways. And I was just appointed as the president of the board not too long ago. And I've just always had a passion for helping others and especially people with disabilities. And Minot means a whole lot to me as well. So helping out people in my community has been a huge passion of mine for a long time. And I'm just excited to see all the growth that Independence has had over the last 4 years since I've been a part of the organization. And I like where we're headed as a community in Minot for not only disability awareness, but also for accessibility around the community. We've done a lot of hard work and a lot of advocacy work on that front. So it's really exciting to see all the growth, like I said, and all the awareness that we're bringing to the disability community. So.
Yeah, because when you hear a company called, or an organization rather, called Independence Inc., it could be broad even within knowing that it's about helping accessibility issues and measures and all that good stuff. So what are probably the biggest points of emphasis that you guys have at Independence?
Well, the biggest points of emphasis basically our kind of motto or our mission statement would be to help people living with disabilities be better members of the community that they live in, and also make it just a better community for everyone to be able to live, work, and play in the community. So that's kind of our main focus with everybody that reaches out to us and to our organization, and that's what we try to do. And we're doing a very good job, and we're leading the way basically in North Dakota right now for people with disabilities. So it's really exciting to see that.
How have you seen accessibility opportunities improve in the Minot area since your 4 years with Independence and even further back as you were younger growing up with a disability?
Yeah, I've just learned a lot from our executive director, Scott Burlingame, has been in the independent living community independent living sector of nonprofits for over 20 years now, and he's a great leader for us going forward, and for people with disabilities. He really has had a huge impact on me and taught me a lot about advocacy, especially, and just being a voice for other people that maybe don't have that voice, or are kind of apprehensive or nervous to kind of voice their opinions and their beliefs on people with disabilities, and just giving people chances to do things around the community has improved drastically over the last even couple years with organizations like Independence Inc. and Prairie Grit. We're really leading the way, like I said, in Minot here for people with disabilities. And as far as accessibility goes, that's gotten so much better. We've done a lot of work with the park district to make things better in our parks in Minot. We did some work a couple summers ago at Corbett Field. We did some advocacy work there with them, the park district, and made some changes there at Corbett Field that make it better for people with disabilities to be able to watch a baseball game there. And like I said, it's just really gotten a lot better, and it's going to continue to get a lot better as long as we have the right people in place to lead the way. So,
on top of helping these folks with their everyday lives and going to watch sports, how has playing sports been possible for adaptive athletes around here?
Yeah, playing sports, for adaptive athletes, it's, there's many different ways and many different things we can do for those athletes that want to play sports. Prairie Grit Adaptive Sports has been a big part of my life for a long time, and we're excited to keep that growing as well in Minot. And we've had a lot of success with making it possible, making dreams come true is kind of what we've been able to do for even adults, not just kids. So it's really exciting to see that growth. There's always a way to adapt things for people with any sort of ability to do anything that they want to do. So we just, like I said, we have to have the right people involved and the right leaders to lead the way to make it happen. And we have to have good advocacy and just that leadership is huge. And we have so many great people in Minot leading the way, and it's really exciting to see the support behind organizations like Independence Inc. and Prairie Grit. So I'm happy to be involved on both of those fronts. But it's really exciting to see the growth, and I'm excited to see where we're headed in the future for Minot. So,
what's an underrated adapted sport in the sense of you've seen it happen around the community, and maybe some people would think, wow, I didn't think that could be pulled off in a different way so that adaptive athletes can enjoy it?
I think the biggest one that most people know about now in Minot is sled hockey, adaptive hockey. We kind of pulled that off right away with Prairie Grit coming to town in 2016 to Minot, and we've really grown in that area. And we have Chris Douglas. He's a member of the USA national sled hockey team. He is living here in Minot, and he's been a leader in that, and he's been able to actually bridge that gap and play with stand-up hockey players at the Mesa Arena and join leagues, and pick up games there. And that's really been a huge thing for Minot, and to have him here is just unbelievable, and we're very fortunate to have him. And not everybody knows, the stories like that come about. So we just need to have people, like I said, we need to have the leaders in Minot continue to tell those stories and make it known, and keep continuing to knock down these barriers for people with disabilities so it doesn't go away, so we don't lose those opportunities. So
yeah, that's an awesome story, man, being able to just accomplish what you can. Your competitive career, another part of it, was playing high school golf at Bishop Ryan. What would it mean for you to be a Lion back in the day, and even still to this day? And what do you kind of remember the most when it comes to playing high school golf?
Great question, Ben. Yeah, I grew up. I graduated high school from Bishop Ryan High School in 2006, and was on the varsity golf team for them for that year, and really meant a lot to me to be able to be a part of that team and be able to play golf with my classmates and my teammates there at Bishop Ryan. The school itself means everything to me. That's how I grew up. Watching my big brother is kind of how I got into golf. He was a golf professional for a long time out at the Varden, and I learned the game from him at a very young age. And basically when I started to walk at age 3 is kind of when I picked up a golf club. And so having him as a mentor really helped me and guided me and made me believe that I could actually do that and be a part of a high school golf team. I just had to do it a little bit differently and use a golf cart whenever I played in a golf meet. But the people involved with the school and the school district made that possible for me, and I can't thank them enough for all of that. And all my coaches growing up, not only my brother but all my golf coaches, growing up, I learned quite a lot from them, and I'm still playing golf today thanks to adaptive equipment, and I'm very fortunate to be where I am today, and I've learned a lot about life being involved with the game of golf. So when it comes to youth golf around here, we got the Wee Links course, and they call it the Rudy, that learning center on top of the driving range at Service Valley Golf Course, where a lot of adaptive athlete kids and stuff have been able to try out the game. How big is it to have something like that? Just a couple of pitch and putt spots to kind of learn when you're real young, no matter what you're up against. Yeah, it's very huge to have those I guess you would call them, facilities to be able to participate, and getting those opportunities is really huge at a young age to be able to participate in the game of golf. We have the Minot Park District, Souris Valley Golf Course. Steve Kotzik there has been an ambassador for the game of golf and Minot Junior Golf for well over 30, 40 years, I think, in the city of Minot, and everybody knows him if you're involved with golf in any capacity. So we're really fortunate to have him in his role there at Souris Valley, and we're really lucky to have our park district to be able to support that and grow the game of golf on the junior level. It's really important, and to have Prairie Grit being involved and bringing adaptive golf to Minot, that's been really a cool thing as well, and I'm excited to see the future there for our adaptive young kids to be able to play golf. So it's really an exciting thing for Minot.
As you kept playing the game, what would you say is the best part of your golf game?
Best part of my golf game is probably my chipping and putting, and I am able to hit the ball pretty straight. So I don't hit it very far or very long ways, but I can keep it in the fairway and keep it in play, and that's kind of the name of my game. And I have, like I said, I have my big brother John to thank for that. He really taught me very well, and it's pretty amazing that I'm able to still do what I do in the game of golf. So I'm very fortunate.
Mm-hmm. And so I've seen you at a lot of different golf events around here. If you had to pick your favorite course to play, what would it be?
My all-time favorite golf course will always be the Varden Golf Club here in Minot. It's my second home, and I'm there, whenever I have a chance and it's nice out, I'm pretty much always at the golf course. And I'm very fortunate to be able to say that I, grew up out there and got to play out there, growing up in my childhood, and having my big brother there to guide me and coach me all along the way. That was huge. My other favorite golf course, I would say, is the Links of North Dakota at Red Mike in Ray, North Dakota. That's another great little kind of hidden gem of North Dakota. I would say it's kind of tucked back into the nowhere, basically in the middle of nowhere in North Dakota, and it's one of the top golf courses in the nation, I would say, as well. I've played a lot of golf around the US of A, and those two courses are my favorites. So,
mm-hmm. On the other side of it, how do you tend to explain snubbing the Minot Country Club?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question, Ben?
Well, you mentioned the Varden, of course, all the memories, and the links out in Ray, and then no love for the country club, or what?
Well, the country club, it's a great golf course. Lots of great scenery out there. Lots of great people involved out there as well. Just haven't had the opportunity to play that course as much as I would like, maybe, and it's a little bit tougher for me to play that golf course since it's a little more up and down and hilly, but I've played it a few times, and it is really, really a great golf course to be able to play, and we're lucky to have that golf course in Minot, and have Andy Schmitz there, the head pro out there at the Minot Country Club, does a lot of great work and great things for the community. So yeah, we're very fortunate to have all these golf courses and people involved, and to grow the game of golf. It's exciting. I think golf is here to stay for a long time in the Minot community. So
I was only trying to give you grief there in order to segue to another guy that I'm not really sure about, is Bryson Dechambeau on tour. Obviously, he's kind of polarizing right now, whether he's asking for rule changes or getting ripped and still complaining or playing slow. What do you think about him?
Yeah, he's definitely not my favorite golfer, but it's amazing what he's been able to do these last, I guess, since golf restarted on the PGA Tour this summer. He's kind of taken over, and the weightlifting and the growth of his body and what he's able to how far he's able to hit a golf ball is pretty unbelievable. And I think more golfers are going to kind of start to see that and start to kind of do what he does and start to dominate golf courses with their length. And I think it's maybe going to change professional golf somewhat. And we have Tiger Woods to kind of thank for that back in the day when he kind of first started that. And, you know, lengthening golf courses is always kind of going to be a thing, I think, from here on out. So, but yeah, he's quite the character on the PGA Tour, that's for sure.
So because of the different sports reschedules that have taken over the year 2020 and the timing of this interview, first of all, and the timing of when it's going to air, I'm going to congratulate you on correctly predicting the upcoming PGA champion. And we don't have to say your prediction because we all know it's correct as people will look back at this. But let me ask you about what you expect out of the U.S. Open coming up in September at Winged Foot and then the Masters in November. Some contenders that you want to look out for and maybe just the different feel. I can only imagine Augusta in November. I mean, it's a big springtime event, but I'm sure it's going to look awesome in the fall too.
Yeah, it's gonna be definitely different at Augusta in November. I'm really excited that they're having the event instead of just canceling it all together for 2020. And U.S. Open at Winged Foot is going to be another great event. It's definitely not going to be the same because it's not going to be on Father's Day weekend, but really looking forward to both of those and the PGA Championship this coming weekend. It's going to be interesting. I think, the contenders to watch out for, I think, are, the same old guys, Brooks Koepka, Jordan Spieth, Ricky Fowler. I think all those guys, can hit it a long ways, and they hit it pretty straight, and they're pretty accurate, and can putt the ball better than most. So Tiger Woods is always going to be a contender if he plays and he's healthy. So you always got to watch out for him, and that's what I love about golf the most. It doesn't really matter your age or anything like that, as long as you can keep it in play and you're healthy, you can definitely score on any golf course. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm excited that sports are kind of back up and running, and it's really exciting to turn on the TV and not watch reruns of anything as far as sports goes. So I'm pretty pumped about it.
I don't know if there's another sports example of somebody knowing an event or an environment like the back of their hand, like Tiger at Augusta.
It's pretty unbelievable. Yeah, I would agree. He's definitely, I think, the best golfer ever. I can get into arguments about people comparing him to Jack Nicklaus, but for what he did for 10 years of dominance on the PGA Tour, nobody's ever done that before, and he's got the Tiger Slam, and it's unbelievable what he can do at Augusta. I would agree. It's home for him, or a second home for him, I guess you could call it, and it's really exciting to have him back and healthy and playing good, and it's good for the PGA Tour and good for the game of golf all around. So we're lucky to have him as the biggest ambassador for the game of golf.
Another one of your major favorites that you brought up was another big hitter in Brooks Koepka, and I got to agree that he might be there at the end too. But how much would you like possibly a Dustin Johnson's chances at a November Masters, considering maybe he rounds out his game just in time on a very tricky course, and then also doesn't fall down a flight of stairs?
Yeah, he's got to stay healthy right now. I think he's a little banged up. I know he withdrew from a tournament. It was either last week or the weekend before, and so I think he always has a chance as long as he's healthy. With his length and how he can hit the ball, it's pretty unbelievable. And what he can do to manipulate the golf ball is pretty unbelievable with how he swings the club, and I think he's definitely always got a chance, that's for sure. So
going from the current big guys to all-time players, in your opinion, if you're out playing at the Varden yet again for the millionth time, who would you want in like your dream foursome? Or if you'd like to include another dream golf course you'd want to show up with the boys at to play, where would it be?
Dream golf course would probably be Augusta. I would love to play that golf course just one time, just to see how bad I really am at the game of golf. And my dream foursome, I think if I'm just out playing around a golf at the Varden, it would be me and my brother for sure, John Hanson, and then I would probably have to put Freddie Couples in there as well. That was my guy growing up in the '90s and watching golf. That smooth swing and how far he could hit it for just being kind of a little guy was pretty impressive to me. And the fourth, wow, if I had to pick, it would probably be a guy by the name of Chuck Rupert, who was the old golf professional at the Varden back in the day. Back in the '90s, I grew up, like I said, growing up playing golf out there. He was always out there and willing to lend an ear and a hand to kind of improve my golf game, and spent many hours on the putting green and chipping and putting with me. So Chuck Rupert, John Hanson, and Fred Couples would be my dream foursome.
I love how you're keeping the local picks in it, Drew. That's nice.
I'm a local guy, and I love Minot at heart, and yeah, so.
Yeah, all right. Well, hey, man, this has been great.
I'm really thankful that you were allowing me to be on the podcast today, Ben.
Yeah, man. Just keep the good times rolling here, and we'll have to play sometime, buddy. Thanks.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Ben.
Yep, that's Drew Hanson.